I was wondering, I've seen some places that say only those job applications will be considered that have the salary requirements on them.
I ignored it.
Okay.
Now, I can't guarantee you 100% that they're not going to make an exception. And the fact is that when job markets are tight, sometimes they become more sticklers. But I found that a strong resume is really, really what they're looking for. They want somebody that can do the job. And so if you have a strong resume and you send that in with a really good cover letter, I think they'll take you to the next step. Somewhere you may get stopped and you might have to tell them. All right? And that actually happened to me. That's in another slide. I actually had to give it up one time at Forgenics. I didn't fill in the blank on the application. And it was a really tight job market, a lousy job market, sort of worse than it is today. It was where we were at 6 months ago. And I didn't fill in, and they said, we like you, and we're going to make you an offer, but not unless you fill in what you made at HP. And I really didn't want to do it, but I didn't have a choice. You got to do what you got to do. So when the guy says to you, well, what will it take to get you on board? And this book that I always suggest here, this games companies play, it's on my website, great book, the best book for doing job search I've ever seen. This came right out of the book. So what the author of the book says, and what they're doing is they don't want to make an offer, but they sort of want to see if you're interested. So what he suggests, one of the things you could say is, well, compensation is important to me. I want to be paid commensurate with my value, with what I contribute. And if there's a fit, I think we'll work out a deal. I've used this at least twice. And they really think it's cool. Because it makes a lot of sense. And you got out of it. And they're looking for somebody smart. So it works. That's a great book. Every one of you should buy that book. And I don't get any money from it. I just recommend it to everybody. So here's another thing that came out of that book. If I make an offer to you, will you accept? And he says, well, that's just another game. And again, they don't want to make an offer that you'll refuse. They want to know if you're serious. And so he says, well, if they keep pressing you, you just say, well, are you making me an offer? I've never done this. But I think it would be great to do it. If you keep pushing, well, is there an offer you want to make? If you want to, go ahead. Okay. So how much are you looking for? So what I usually do is I usually stress that the salary is just a component of the whole compensation package. And since I don't know what the whole package is, I can't possibly tell them how much I'm looking for in salary. Because they may have great fringe benefits, they might have stock options, they might have all kinds of things that I don't know that they're going to give me. So that usually moves them off the salary. Another question, how much are you looking for? Here's another possible answer, which is sort of what I was saying before. I don't know enough about the position, the responsibilities, company expectations, so it's pretty difficult for me to tell you right now how much I'm looking for. I need to know more about the company, and then we can work out a deal if this is a good fit. So, conclusions. Avoid sending out a salary history with a resume. That's my experience and my recommendation, and I think that it will work all the time. It has for me. I think if it doesn't work for them, they'll call and say, you forgot to send your salary history, and then you can decide to do it if you want. But I don't think they will. Don't ever rely on an application for employment, but you don't have to fill in all the blanks. Let the hiring manager put out the number first, if possible, and then try to learn all of the games that these companies play. And the way you usually learn them is some of them you can learn from the book, but a lot of them I learned from interviewing, just going out and being an interviewee. And then I leave and I usually write everything down and say, oh, that was a new one, I never heard that one before. So that's the end of my presentation for today. And next at bat here is John O'Neill. Got his bio here. John was recently promoted, like this week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Working directly for the mayor's office now in the legal aspects of HR, right?
That's labor relations.
Labor relations. You have a degree from University of Illinois, MBA from San Diego State, 20 years of experience as an HR professional. And you were previously a group benefits manager at NCR, and HR generalist for manufacturing, finance, MIS, QA, and facilities. A product manager for 6 years, past president of the Compensation and Benefits Association of San Diego, and currently area council president for National Management Association, and a Toastmaster with an advanced standing that I don't know what you call it, but John is a great presenter. I wanted him to present on presenting, and this was the result. So without further ado, I'd like to present John O'Neill, the speaker for tonight. Thank you very much.